Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NJPW Pro Wrestling Review. I am your co-host, Andre C. Right over here is my co-host, Melball. How you doing, Melball?
I'm doing okay, my friend. It's been an interesting day. So far, I killed my back at the gym. It was tremendous. I loved it. How was your day today?
I was great up until we tried to record twice already, and I realized my internet was just hating me, so I moved up to my the upstairs office in my house, and I got a hardwired internet now, so I'll be running hardwired down to my basement very, very soon.
Hey, it isn't a Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk if we're not having technical difficulties.
Well, third time hopefully is the charm, and we are here to talk some NJPW Dominion, ladies and gentlemen. The second biggest event of NJPW's year, I think, as like just by pure event status, I would say.
That way.
Yeah, but I thought we got a really, really good show. I think top to bottom, there's nothing like there's a couple of matches were just kind of there, but nothing disappointed me on this show.
No.
Yeah.
Even the House of Torture match, which is surprising.
Mm-hmm. Again, absolutely phenomenal show. But before we get into that, I want to say thank you to everybody who's been supporting us, all the people subscribed to the YouTube channel, all of the people liking the videos. If you can, please comment down below because we love to hear from you guys. We love talking New Japan, Stardom. We're doing Stardom. We love talking professional wrestling. Mm-hmm. So we want to hear from you. We love hearing from you. So please like and comment if you can. But we are going to get into it. It's Dominion, ladies and gentlemen. 6-4 in Osaka-cho Hall. It's a great. I love the logo this year with the Osaka-cho Hall logo there. Everything. I really did like that.
Very sharp. Very nice.
Very nice. And we start it out. Ospreay versus Archer. We kick off the show. Archer coming out and just mowing down Young Lions, including Fujita, wearing this dope-ass mask to the ring. And then we get our announcer intros. Kevin Kelly intros his boy, Chris Charlton. It's the duo together as always. But we got a special guest making his return from the land down under. It's Gino Gambino, ladies and gentlemen. Mel, how did you feel about Gino?
Gino. I miss Gino so much. Doesn't you're not having Gino there to exclaim Doki Choki.
Yeah, but I didn't think we get to hear him say Doki Choki, even though Doki was in a match.
Which is a shame. That was just a big miss out on that.
Well, it was either he was at the event or Kevin Kelly was doing the greatest impression of Gino Gambino he's ever done. It's one of the two. Yeah. But we're into this match. Ospreay coming out, standing there on the stage, just kind of standing almost like a hero pose, like kind of half sideways turn, like that half side turn, you know, like you have that here, like very much a hero pose, and it's like the conquering hero returning to slay another dragon before he goes on to slay Kenny Omega. But yeah, Archer attacks during the intro of Ospreay. They go to the floor. Archer tries to put Ospreay through a table, reminiscent of, I think it was their New Japan Cup match from a few years ago. Yeah. But he cannot put him through, and Ospreay ends up hitting a sky twister off the top to Archer on the floor. Back in the ring, Archer catches the springboard forearm attempt by Ospreay, goes for the choke, chokes them again, but Ospreay flips out of it, hits a beautiful enziguri, and hits that Os cutter like super early. Like he's just going from the hot, man. Both these guys. Archer just hits a huge lariat on Ospreay, and Ospreay just goes flipping around like just. Yeah, it's as Ospreay was going for the hidden blade, and he just turned around and just smoked him. It looked brutal. Archer strikes in this match. Dang, they were just killing Ospreay's, man. But yeah, both guys, Ospreay getting a Sasuke special at one point, but Archer coming right back with this Lou Thez press type move where he just ran into him and just went and just ran through him. It was very loose. It says press but yeah. Yeah, Archer booting Ospreay across the ring, just like hits him and just sends him flying across the ring. Like it was it was insane. He goes up. Archer gets the blackout, but Ospreay kicks out at 2.9. Not a lot of guys you've seen kick out a blackout. Archer ends up going up top, but Ospreay stops him, hits the cheeky Nando's kick, tries that assisted Stormbreaker off the ropes that again he had hit on Archer a couple of years ago, but Archer gets out and hits the choke slam. Mm-hmm. Holy shit! Like he had him like. Dude, he was high. He got him high on that one, and yeah, but and then Ospreay comes back, hits a kick to the knee, and then a hook kick, hits a hidden blade, then hits 2 more hidden blades, then pulls the elbow pad off and goes for the final 4th hidden blade and gets the win. Absolutely tremendous match. It was like 9 minutes, I think, 9.5 minutes, but tremendous 9.5 minutes.
And what an opener. Very, very heavy hitting match, this one. You mentioned pretty much everything I did except for that diving cannonball that Archer did off the apron onto Ospreay on the outside. Just picture perfect. Very, 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 very agile for such a very tall and not lanky guy by any means. I mean, Archer is jacked. So very, very foldy-poldy, roly-oly.
But yeah, for a big guy, it was 8. The match was only 8 minutes. I just checked it. It was only 8 minutes, but so much was packed in there. And Archer is deceptive. He can fly and move like a junior heavyweight, but he hits like a goddamn freight train. But yeah, absolutely tremendous way to open this contest. I guess it was the opening match or the gauntlet show on the pre-show, but that was not broadcast for us to see. That Loibe didn't get the victory in his gauntlet situation. So same as Nakashima, I think, last month. So, but we move on to so the official match I want to point out, Will Ospreay winning this match and it has been made official. It's Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, Forbidden Door, Sunday, June 25th. In Toronto at Forbidden Door. That match is going to be insane. I got my buddies Boris and Matt heading out to that show. I'm so jealous of them getting to see this. Like, what I wouldn't give to see this match in person.
Our good friend Alistair Dark is also going down there to see this match. How funny is it? Like, am I the only one who sees that this picture of Kenny Omega almost kind of reminds me of Bobby Sharp?
A little bit, yeah. It's not the most flattering picture of Kenny Omega either. That's the thing.
No. It's a decent picture of Bobby, though.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great match.
But
I expect a 2.0 of the Wrestle Kingdom match, but, how do you step up from that? I guess we'll find out.
Arguably, this should be going on last. Arguably.
I mean...
It's for the title, and it's honestly, we'll get to another match that's been announced, but I still think this is the biggest match on the show.
I mean, from our standpoint, 110%. But keeping in mind this is an AEW show more.
But it's still Kenny
show, but it's
but it's still Kenny Omega on an AEW show, and it's not like people are unfamiliar with Ospreay because he has appeared before. So, and it depends on how they build up the show.
Well, and how they build up the guys.
Yeah. But we move on. It's LIJ. Just 5 guys. One more time. I'm sorry. I've enjoyed the matches, but they have been wrestling each other pretty much every show for...
I'm more excited about Chris Charlton singing along with the intro to Just 5 Guys than I am to see them wrestle as a faction right now.
It's not that. It's just these two teams that face off in some version on every single show we've seen in the last long while. So again, other than the Best of Super Junior shows, because it was all tournament, even some of those we had LIJ versus Just 5 Guys. But yeah, a good show. Bushi, the Native American headdress on the mask that he was wearing, absolutely tremendous. I loved it. A big brawl early on to the floor while Naito and Douki battle it out in the ring. Bushi in with the forearms to Taka. Taka comes back but he just eye pokes him, just like, screw you. I'm gonna poke you in the eyes. Just even though technically isn't LIJ technically supposed to technically be a heel faction, and just Five Guys a face faction.
They like they walk the line and like step off of it on either side from time to time.
DVD into a gut, like a DVD position into a gut buster, and then he hits a gut. She goes to gut buster, then turns it in, and then hits a DDT right after with it. Look at your really good sequence there. Satellite DDT by Kanemaru to Shingo. Taichi impersonating Shingo Takagi with the points to the crowd as he's like pointing. I was just like, ooh, that feud's gonna go on all year, isn't it?
That's gonna be a fight forever kind of thing, I think.
Yeah.
They're gonna like each other.
Taka gets the just face lock at one point, but it gets broken up onto Teton. But in the end, all of LAJ hit a big move on Taka, and Teton hits a top rope stomp, and then he applies Immortal and gets the submission win.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I like that they did that. It kind of makes it feel nice that, coming up short with that Best of Super Junior tournament ender there against Master Wado. It was nice to give him kind of a send-off into the sunset win there. We always got to mention also Bushi's tope. Just so good. Just so good.
Incredible.
Again, the end of it just kind of reminded me how LIJ was such a functional team. The end of the show also kind of gave me some hope, but I'm not gonna lie, it's not a lot of hope. The United Empire just seems to be the most united faction in this place right now. I wouldn't say that either one of these guys are a close second by any means. But I still like how effortlessly Los Ingobernables just seems to work together. Zero communication.
100%. They have that ability to read each other's minds. It's spooky.
Spooky Yuki-ish.
We move on to what a match that I'm putting on my best match of the year list, because I thought this was absolutely. I love the opener, but this was my favorite match of the night. Like, I thought both these teams, like Kushida, like putting his working pants on tonight, that's for sure. But both these teams absolutely tremendous in this. I love the vest that TJP was wearing, the bone vest.
First note, that vest is freaking cool.
Yeah, I wrote that down too. Akira and Knight start with the dual drop kicks at each other, and they're both coming out with fire. They both have something to prove in this one. It was crazy. Very much a poetry, and if you remember the old Hardy Boys poetry motion where Jeff Hardy would jump off the back of Matt Hardy into but Kevin Knight doing that, but with the splash into the corner, doing that with Kushida here. Knight getting a beautiful acai moonsault to Akira and TGP onto the floor early there. Really good.
Wait, something to add on to the Hardy Boy thing. He missed that. Knight actually missed that spot.
Oh, did he?
TGP got out of the way, and then Akira actually followed up doing the exact same move, using Kushida as the stepping stone.
I thought that was a later one.
No, that was right at the beginning.
Oh, because I know they did it again later in the match. Maybe I missed that part.
Second note.
Oh, okay, weird. Catch 22 hitting that electric chair sent on tonight. Gotta love it. I always love that them taking the picture. They're taking the picture before he comes down.
Kelly on commentary. Don't you tell me what to do.
Oh, great. Top rope show tape by Akira, and then it was the show tape move that Goto does. Akira did a kind of a version of it. Kushida came off with the show tape palm strike. That was it. I messed that up. They jumped off top, show tape palm strike, then show tape palm strike, TJP right after. Really, I thought really good spots. So I'm thinking of a spot in another match. X Factor 3 by Catch 22, and they go for the sandwich knees. They hit the sandwich knees on Kush, but Knight ends up making the save. The leaping ability of Knight, he came from the edge to hop into the middle to break up the pin. It's incredible what this guy does, man. the Skull and Bones Stomp by Catch 22, the move they kind of ripped off from Shoulder Shooting Machine Guns a little bit, I would say. But they end up missing this.
With the abdominal stomp?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, the inverted DT. Yeah. But they end up missing the sandwich knees again. They crash into each other, and like Kevin Kelly, Chris going, "Oh, that knee on knee, that's just brutal." And they were just calling on him like that can't feel good. Just from a knee to with somebody else, like Jet Setters set up, hit the electric chair drop kick, but cannot get the win. Akira hits stops a top rope Rana by Knight, and TJP gets Knight onto his shoulders. Finally, after so goddamn long, they hit the leaning tower, and then they follow it up with the sandwich knees tonight, and they get the win. Catch 22, raising those titles over their head again. I am so gosh darn happy.
Same.
So
I'm not gonna lie though, they shouldn't have lost them in the first place. It just kind of felt like a bit of a pointless waste of time for them to not be having those titles. But hey, at least Knight and Kushida shined them up for them real nice the day before they won them back.
Pretty much.
The thing off of their list of things to do.
Anything else in the match before we get into the post match?
The only thing that I have left that you didn't comment on was just the fact that Knight can do that drop kick. The electric chair drop kick, that he can drop kick the chest of another human being stacked on the shoulders of another human being. It just absolutely incredible. The end of this was not incredible.
No. Well, it was interesting. So Akira and TJP are in the ring celebrating with Dan Maloney, who was out there with them. And Clark Connors come down. And he says, and he makes a comment, says, "I'm going to challenge for." Everybody, the announcers are thinking he's coming out to challenge Maloney because they've been going to war. And then he says he wants to challenge for the tag titles, and he introduces his partner, and he points to the stage, and Maloney attacks Catch 22 from behind. So I'm super confused, but it doesn't surprise me at the same time. Because as much as I love Maloney as part of UE, I kind of found him the odd man out in the team.
Yeah, he kind of had that attitude. I mean, I mentioned in the last video, it was interesting to see the dynamic because you had kind of like the bad boy attitude in him and then the good guy attitudes and people like TJP and Akira. And Akira, in borderlines. He's a little feisty, that one. I think it depends on the day. But, yeah, I agree. I think that Bullet Club is probably going to be a better fit for him, especially given what Bullet Club has kind of evolved into. That being said, though, I don't think that they're ready for Maloney may have been like an inside guy for all intents and purposes. He could be something that, oh yeah, they've been working on this, so we should look out for this kind of thing. But you weren't there very long. Like, if you were really thinking about it, you would have maybe let it go a little bit longer, maybe let Connors work on himself a little bit, work on yourself a little bit, kind of get some more information, and then make the turn. But, like, I don't know. I felt it was a little rushed.
Yeah.
But that being said, everything about this variation and era, if you will, about Bullet Club has felt rushed. It's felt sudden.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, again, arguably a better fit. Has Ospreay responded yet to this?
I haven't seen anything.
Because wasn't he the one who, I mean, it's his team. He obviously recruited this mofo.
I blame Gideon Gray.
I mean, but ultimately, like, Gideon could sort of almost be like a Gato, if you will, there, since he's not really kind of around. But ultimately, Ospreay is going to be the person who says yay or nay.
Yeah.
Way. And he said yay. Now he sashayed away.
Yeah, well, we'll see where it goes. And I see it working because really Connors was good. They didn't need another junior for the Bullet Club for Connors to team with because he's going to, like, come the fall for for the Super Junior Tag League, he was going to need a partner because like there really is like as far as like because Ishimori's out for a while, and even if like I don't know if Ishimori and Connors would really work as a tag team in my opinion.
It would be a very mismatched team. Not even just the personalities, but the styles would be just. What would you do with that? There's nothing you could really do. That's power and power. I feel like it would be boring. It would be a boring team.
Yeah, so I like that these two kind of complement each other, can complement each other. So again, they beat up Katshutu. Maloney hits a driller killer onto Akira, and Connors hits a no chaser onto TJP. And yeah, Connors leaves yelling at children and women as he always does because he's obviously a misogynist, children-hating pig. I complete joke there, but
women and children, beware of Clark Connors.
Pretty much. So we move on to the NJPW Television Championship. I think every match going from that match on is all title matches.
I believe you're correct. Yeah.
In reality, every match on this show, except the 8-man tag, revolved around a title because even that first match was a number of contendership. So yeah, so we're into the gold, baby. We're into the gold. It's Zack Sabre Jr., my boy, TMDK versus Jeff Cobb, my boy, United Empire. I'm like I said last show. I'm insanely conflicted by this. I'm so conflicted because I love both of these gentlemen, and yeah, Sabre goes for a front chance and right at the hop. A Cobb just like runs it into the corner, and this match was pretty much Jeff Cobb beating the shit out of Sabre, trying to go for technical moves, and Cobb just stopping him and slamming and beating the shit out of him. Like Sabre goes for a Cobra Twist at one point, but he just gets tossed over. He tries a knee bar, but Cobb escaping, and Sabre keeps trying to fall for all these submissions at one point, and Cobb just keeps slipping out and getting out. But then Cobb just like is throwing him off. It was very much like Sabre had to like have an answer. And you gotta remember, Cobb is a wrestler. This man is an Olympic level wrestler. Like he competed for Guam. So like he has insane mat abilities. We don't remember that because of everything else that he does. A lot of us don't remember to think about that. But yeah, I thought the way they went back and forth with this was great. Cobb just tossing Sabre hard into the corners at one point, just slamming him. But he goes for spin cycle at one point, but Sabre turns it into a rear naked choke. But Cobb just goes and just drops down on his back, just crushing Sabre on the mat. I was like, oh.
So many yeets.
Yeah, the end of it comes, so Cobb reverses a Euro clutch into the Hawaiian clutch, same move. Then he hits spin cycle, hits a release German. As he goes for tour of the island, I'm thinking, holy shit, Cobb's taking the belt. But then he goes for tour of the islands, and Sabre turns it into a goddamn crucifix bomb. And gets a picks and steals the win. Like as much as he stole that win.
He did.
Yeah,
100% stole that win. My favorite reversal in this one for Cobb was when, for whatever reason, Zack Sabre Jr.'s butt was in the air. It looked like he was going for like an ankle lock or something. Like just
he's trying to like pull a knee bar or something.
I don't know what he was trying to do, but it just looked so funny. He looked like a squirrel on the side of a dang tree. And the tree just suddenly went, no, not today, squirrel, and like reached one of its branches down and yeeted the squirrel off of the tree. It was hilarious for me to watch. I called it adorable because it was literally, you're absolutely right. This match was just Cobb muscling Zack Sabre Jr. around and Zack Sabre Jr. trying to scramble out of it as quickly as possible and try to do anything to try to prevent Cobb from coming back at him again. There was another point where Cobb actually attempted his standing moonsault, and Zack Sabre Jr. was able to quickly run out of the way and then run back in and do that nasty looking
neck twist.
Yeah, that was just so cool. Once There was one point where Zack Sabre Jr. got Jeff Cobb off of his feet, and that was kind of like the point where I knew that he was wearing him down at that point. But yeah, just like you, once when he set up for that tour of the islands, I was like, oh no, and then it didn't happen.
Yeah, again, very surprised by that. But yeah, I thought tremendous match. I thought these two killed it. Like these two had a really good.
Mouthy as hell, both these guys too.
Oh yeah. So we move on. IWGP World Tag Team Title match and the Strong Openweight Tag Team Title match. A double title match. It's Bushimon's Yoshi-Hashi and Hirooki Goto versus House of Torture's Evil and Yujiro Takahashi versus with Dick Togo versus United Empire's Aaron Henare and the Great O-Khan. House of Torture. Pardon?
Lil Dick. Little Dick at ringside. Little Dicky.
The day you sent me a dick pic was the day I laughed harder than I've ever laughed in my life. So.
Best kind of dick pic you could get, arguably.
House of Torture attacked during the entrance of United Empire. They attack both teams, and it's just a giant brawl in the early point. They get at one point in the ring, Khan sits on Yoshi-Hashi's head, and Henare comes up, and he has what I think Kevin Kelly or Chris Charlton described as the donkey punch. He punched him right in the ass.
I commented on that before.
I laughed so hard.
Yeah. Yuck.
Excuse me, but yeah, oh god, that was hilarious. There's a lot to this match. Well, not being a crazy long match, there was a lot to it. Just Evil throwing Goto into the timekeeper, bringing that goddamn shithole of a spot back, and just yeah,
it's not fun anymore.
We got House of Torture shenanigans with Evil and with Togo getting involved, helping Evil hit a magic killer, Show getting involved, attacking people. You just I don't know. Beautiful spot by UE where they did the shout out to Aussie Open, hit the sandwich lariats to Yujiro, and hit him with the elevated sheep killer GTW. Mm-hmm. The ref gets pulled out on that one. I'm like, and then just a show
so loud. I was out in my garage watching this at this point, and it was the middle of the day. The ref got pulled, and I just yelled, "Fuck!" just randomly. I hope the neighbors and their children just got a show with that. I was mad.
But I gotta give real shout out to Show when he rolls in, and he just German suplexed this shit out of Aaron Henare.
He did.
That Aaron's almost twice the size of Show.
Easily.
Like he's way better than Show, and he yeeted him with that German, I thought, and then he ends up grabbing the braid and low blowing Great O-Khan. Yeah, it led to a lot of the House of Torture shenanigans, Togo getting the garrote, but Yo ends up showing up to save Bushimon with the skateboard. I guess he's really into skateboarding now. Legit, in real life, he's really into skateboarding. It's after he healed up from his last injury, he really got into skateboarding, I guess. So, Bushimon hits the final flash on Yujiro, but Goto gets in. Goto is hit in the back when the ref gets distracted. Henare hits the rampage to Goto and goes for Streets of Rage, but Hashi gets a super kick, but gets tossed out by Yujiro, and Yujiro gets the pimp juice, but only gets 2. Goto slips out of the big juice, and Yoshi-Hashi gets involved. House of Torture stop the attack. Everyone just giant brawl, and Khan hits that claw slam on Evil, and then Yoshi-Hashi just German suplexing the hell out of Khan. I was like, dang, because again, there's a size disparity there, right? But in the end, Goto off the top takes out Yujiro, and Bushimon hit Shote, and they get the titles.
That was my fear.
I I can live with Bushimon being the champions for now until hopefully Aussie Open comes back. But again, they're signed to AEW now, so we do not know what the future is there. It's better than House of, like, I would be mad if I had to watch House of Torture on Forbidden Door. That's for goddamn sure. I don't want to watch them on that show, and I'd rather watch Bushimon show up and face FTR again, because at least I know I'll get a good match out of it instead of House of Torture bullshit.
With it. I don't want it again.
I'd
much rather had United Empire. They should have won that. The ref shouldn't have been pulled. That was stupid. I honestly, as soon as I saw show, I was like, I don't want to watch this anymore, and I wasn't honestly paying a ton of attention to the rest of the match. There was one tag move, though, earlier in the match that United Empire pulled where Okan hit a lariat in the corner, and then Okan immediately, it was on Evil, and immediately followed up with a jumping knee, that Henare does.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so brutal. I almost thought that he was actually going like over his head. Then, throwing him out of the corner into Okan. Okan picks him up and just yeets him over to Henare, and Henare plants him with the powerbomb. It just flowed so well. It looked so...
Yeah, I wrote that down. Khan super suplex, but Yujiro-Hashi. And then he, I call it the Blue Thunder into the bomb. When I wrote it down, I just skipped over it. Because it was he brought him up almost like Blue Thunder style, and then tossed him to Henare to hit the bomb.
Oh, yeah.
The way he took him up was like Blue Thunder and went, and then he caught him and bombed him.
This was on Evil.
Oh, was that on Evil? I thought it was on... I probably wrote that down wrong. I have it written down as Hashi.
Yeah, tossed him into the powerbomb, yeah.
Yeah, I have it written down as Yoshi-Hashi.
That was right before the Yujiro shenanigans. Also, there was one point, Henare just on fire this match for me. There was one point where I think it was Goto he was doing this to. He caught him with a spear, but he caught him with the spear, picked him up, and then just slammed him.
Yeah, that's the Rampage. That's his Rampage where he picks the guy up and then just smashes him.
I want to know what I wrote that down as.
What's that?
Uranage. Because it looked like a spear and a Uranage together.
Essentially what the Rampage is. Yeah.
The end of this is what really kind of it set me into a spiral of confusion and excitement at the same time. I did not know how to feel.
Go ahead.
This was when, the Bushimon's celebrating and everything. We hear some strange music pop up, and we see some familiar logos pop onto the Titantron, and we see Bullet Club logos and War Dogs. Really awesome sounding name, but we see the emergence of the android Alex Coughlin and Mr. Sassy Pants. Am I allowed to call him that now?
He's Mr. Angry Pants for goddamn sure after this show.
What the if I should probably not call him Sassy Pants anymore. He'll send Clark Connors after me, and that is the last thing I freaking need. I am 5'3" with 0 survival skills. I admit to those triceps. Yeah, coming out and laying waste to Bushimon and United Empire. Everybody got everybody got kicked, everybody got smushed. This is it's shaping up to be an interesting era of Bullet Club. I mean, we have arguably now 4 sub factions of Bullet Club, because we got the Rebel Club here, and then we also have House of Torture. Then we also have whatever Jay White and Juice are claiming to be, and who are Bay and Austin a part of.
So I actually have a breakdown of the entirety of the Bullet Club. I literally made it. I went to and found all the members and found their breakdown.
You have to do that is a problem.
So no, but Bullet Club means your main Bullet Club is Coughlin, Fale, Owens, Connors, Maloney, Finley, Kid, Gato, Kenta, and Taichi Ishimori. That's main club. That's just your main club.
Guys.
That's 10. So then you have House Torture. If you, they technically are. I know you don't agree with it. So there's 4 members there. That's 14. Then you have Bullet Club USA and Ace Austin and Chris Bay, the ABC, Austin Bay Club. That's 16. Then you got Bullet Club Gold, which is Jay White and Juice Robinson, but that's 18. And then I just found this out. You have Bullet Club Tamashi, which is the team that Battle of Folly has been building in Tamashi. You also, the 19, Jack Bonza, 20 is Larry Bird, 21 is Kate Minogue, 22 and 23 are Tomei and Steve Phillip. So there's 23 members in the Bullet Club right now.
Thank goodness they're
spread across
the world, because my goodness, put them all in one place and that faction is far too big for its britches.
Well, there's 14 in Japan.
If Bullet Club is going to be this heckin' big, I need something back. And that is Bullet Bunny. We need Peter cannot come back. I volunteer as tribute. I will walk down there with Rebel Club. I don't care. Dan Maloney.
No, you gotta hang out with Yujiro.
Kid. Clark Connors. Goddamn, yeah.
No, you'll be with House of Torture. That's Yujiro's gimmick. That's Yujiro's gimmick, yo.
No. If I don't see them, they don't exist.
But yeah, the Bullet Club ever growing. And I don't think they're done. I really don't. That's the crazy part. I don't think they're done. The G1 Climax has been announced, so I'm gonna quickly go through these. I'm gonna list off a bunch and then list off the first timers. You got Okada, Naito, Sanada, Ospreay, Tanahashi, Finlay, Shota Umino, Takagi, Ishii, Tamatonga, the returning Tanka. Whoa. Let's go ape shit, ladies and gentlemen. Hirooki Goto, Yoshi-Hashi, Toru Yano, Kenta, Zack Sabre Jr., Taichi, El Phantasmo, Evil, Chase Owens, Jeff Cobb, Great O'Khan, Aaron Henare. That's everybody who's been in a G1 before. So after this, we've got Hikuleo, first time, Eddie Kingston from AEW. He's essentially the AEW representative this year, which I think he'll have some interesting matchups with the people if he's in the right blocks. I hope he's in the monster block, because him just battling out with big dudes would be awesome. Ren Narita, Gabriel Kidd, Alex Coughlin, Shane Haste, and Mikey Nichols. Let's go, baby. Yoda Tsuji. And I think the one that got the biggest cheer out of everybody, the final person announced from Pro Wrestling Noah, it's Kaito Kiyomiya.
Mr. Kaito, welcome back.
We talked about this last year when we finished our G1 coverage, seeing who we'd like to see. And if Kaito Kiyomiya is somebody you said you wanted to see in the G1 and then in future G1s, you got your wish, Mel. You get Kaito Kiyomiya.
I sure did. I didn't want to see him bitch kick Okada in the face, though. That was not on my checklist. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this G1. Lots of great names introduced here.
Mm-hmm. I'm very excited for this G1. We are going to be covering it again this summer. There might be some shows where it might just need me popping on for 20 minutes, just rolling down some results, because it's going to be a lot of it. It's going to be a busy summer. Let's just say that, ladies and gentlemen. Especially when we got 5-star Grand Prix to go along with it, and that's a 3-month tournament. So that's going to be a heck of a summer. At least the G1's only like 5 weeks. That's but it's a lot of shows in 5 weeks. 32 people, 8 people per block. It's going to be the same format as last year, which was a very confusing block last year.
It really was.
Oh, it's going to be interesting.
Get out the spreadsheets.
Yeah. Oh, I will be, because our competition is coming back, Mel. I've already talked to our champion. He will be returning. So.
Oh, damn.
But we move on. Never open weight championship. David Finlay, El Phantasmo. New music, new graphics, new gear, new T-shirt. All new stuff for Mr. ELP. And Kevin Kelly saying he is his own man. He walks alone and he is factionless. According to Kevin Kelly, right now, this man is factionless. He's not Hontai associated. So
Well, I mean, he just came out of Bullet Club. Who would have him? You know?
Hantai takes everybody.
Moves is stepping on someone's gherkin. Like, come on.
Hey,
Friends in that locker room.
Hantai takes everybody.
No. There's limits. There's limitations. Stepping on someone's hootenanny is definitely not something that they would like.
Taguchi.
Huh?
Taguchi.
That's butt stuff. That's not.
That's worse. That's worse.
Entirely. Moving on. Yeah, I agree. I really like the look from ELP. The blue on his trunks. It's nice to see some color on him because he's been pretty much black and white since joining Bullet Club, and it was kind of, you can only do so much with a black and white thing. The hair is different. I'm not really digging the pink, but it's the haircut itself is nice. Like the style.
No.
It's trendy. It's what the boys his age are wearing, and it looks good on him because it keeps the hair out of his face. You can see those nice blue eyes.
He's my age. People my age do not wear that.
People my age don't wear this either.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mr. Finley, however, coming out with all of his new Bullet Club Brotherhood boys toys. Rawr. This team, though, I have to say, for as well as they came in, because they came in that V flying formation with Finley at the front and everyone kind of flanking behind. They to me, I wrote down, they look like an aggressively unhinged team. Like they looked under control at that moment, but we know how Gabe Kidd wrestles. We know how Coughlin wrestles. We know how Connors wrestles. We know how Finley wrestles. We know how Maloney wrestles. You know, these guys are all, they're a little cuckoo. They're a little wacky. So it'll be interesting to see how David Finley kind of keeps these guys under control while allowing them their freedoms. This faction of Bullet Club is going to be very loud, very dominant, I think. Going to be a lot of fun to watch them kind of make their rounds. Something I noticed at the beginning here, when they started fighting and they got out into the crowd, did you notice when they got past that first barricade, because the way they had it set up, they had the main barricade and then the gap, and then a second barricade and the people. When they were in the second gap and Finley got tossed into the fence, Oscar Loibe ran in to, do the thing that he's supposed to do and hold the gate. And I noticed as soon as he went in, he grabbed the gate, and I'm like, my guy, you're not doing anything. You're grabbing the gate behind you. The people are in front of you. You need to protect the people in front of you. And in came ELP, and there went ELP and Finley into the crowd, and Loibe just has this, like, bewildered look on his face, like, what? I'm holding the... Oh. It was a funny little moment in an otherwise very serious, intense match that I had a nice little chuckle at there. Adorable.
Yeah, I thought these two had a really incredible match. Like ELP he's almost crazed in this. Like the way how much he just wants to destroy David Finley here and ruin everything that's going for him. Like just the stuff on the outside, Finley setting up a table that we didn't get quite yet, but yeah, both these guys just going back and forth, a lot of crazy stuff. ELP does get Finley in the tree of woe, stands on the nuts, then gets a running drop kick into the corner. Beautiful springboard tornado DDT by ELP. Followed that up really good. Just when these two are like throwing forearms at each other, it's just it looks so good. I'm just cracking each other in the face, man. ELP gets tossed over Finley into the corner, and Finley ends up getting the Blue Thunder Bomb for 2, then hit a swing into the Irish Curse backbreaker for 2. Just these going back and forth, these two just killing each other, man. Finley tries what I will never stop calling the Trash Panda, but ELP slips out, hits a super kick, then he hits sudden death, gets a 2 count, hits it like a inverted DDT, goes up to the top, but Maloney jumped up onto the apron, but Connors pulled Maloney off of the apron. It was really weird.
Oh, see, the way I saw it was that he got kicked a little bit.
Oh, did he get kicked? I didn't see the kick.
And then Connors was just kind of hanging on to him.
Oh, I didn't see the kick. That's me. I didn't see the kick.
A boot, like it was more like a shove with the foot.
Oh, makes sense. And then ELP dives onto those two. Then he goes back up and dives onto the other two on the other side. And he comes back in, and he goes back up, but ends up getting pushed off. And Finley pushes him off the top to the floor. And then he picks him up and power bombs him the hell through the table.
The weirdly proportionate table, because that thing was longer than it was wider.
Oh, that's all the Japanese tables. They seem to be like that. Finley rolls him back in, hits another power bomb in the ring, hits the Trash Panda because he's the trash human being that he is. Wins the match. Jesus, man. Finley and pulls over ELP with the belt, and then the whole team was like posing over top of ELP. Finley yelling at Takagi on commentary. Could that be I would love to see these two mix it up for the never title. But again, a lot of this is leading to the G1.
Yeah, I mentioned I wrote down the calling out Shingo afterwards also, and it's like, don't really know if you want that smoke quite yet, sir. Like I know you're looking for challenges, but I mean, get granted, Takagi, he's not on the level he was when he came into NJPW by any means. I mean, that's a former IWGP World Champion, but most recently, I mean, he was a former KOPW champion, which is.
But he's still Shingo Takagi. He's still Shingo Takagi.
You don't want Takagi. Yeah, you don't want to mess with him. So yeah, something else I wanted to add. There was one point, to get the thirst trap out of the way, where ELP went to hit the ropes to do a dive, and the 4 guys from Bullet Club kind of moved in and kind of like prevented him from. I lost all semblance of time. There was so much tricep, bicep, rear delt in the picture. I was just like, oh, magic knife. Yeah, I didn't care what was going on after that. And then the match resumed, and I had to come back to planet Earth.
Oh, Jesus.
The end, afterwards, everything else you kind of mentioned briefly in some way, but the end afterwards, where they had that really, really great camera angle of ELP on the ground, Finley over top of him. Did you catch that tension when Oleg came in and was giving the ice pack to ELP? He actually leaned in in front of Finley. Just the look, I feel like he could feel the eyes burning in on the side of him, and my first thought was, oh my God, get out of the shot, my God.
Yeah.
Like, he was literally taking up 2/3 of the camera, and it's like, that is not only the newest heel faction captain in NJPW, that is currently the pissiest man in NJPW. You're taking his spotlight when he was literally just bitching for the last few months about how people were taking his spotlight. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. But yeah, he slid out of there so quickly, so awkwardly, and you could see Finley just watching him. Just these kids today. I'm telling you. Yeah, it was a fun one.
No, it was a very good match. But we move on. IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Hiromu Takahashi defending against the Best of Super Juniors winner, Master Wato. Really good wrestling at the start between these two. A lot like the only thing I have to say really here is it's kind of the same thing we've seen them do the two together before. Just they've like working that just a little bit faster. Again, Wato again stepping up his game. He's really has stepped up his game, but I don't know. it's not even the end of it. It's just I started watching the match and I just kind of was getting tired of it. I don't know why. I just was. And
I mean, we did just watch like a month pretty much straight of Super Junior matches, so we might be a little
Super Junior, yeah, but that Cash 22 match was absolutely tremendous. So I don't know.
style.
Yeah.
Style entirely.
Like, it was still a very good match. Like you get like and then greatest hits from both guys diving or Wado doing a lot of dives, diving to the floor. The Bulldog zigzag combo by Wado looked really good. Hiromu's fire is just great. I love when he was hitting his lariats, and Kevin Kelly was saying, making comments about Shingo Takagi, who was at ringside on commentary, giving props to Hiromu every time he was doing the big lariats, because again, he's taken that from his boy, Shingo Takagi. But yeah, look, Vendaval, Wado got it a couple times in this match, but like, and there's a couple later on, I was really thinking, oh, could he win this here? Yeah, beautiful pumping bomb at 1-1 at Hiromu, and then he goes for time bomb 2, but Wado ends up reversing into a tombstone. Really good spot there. Bridging German by Wado, but he didn't get that high angle on it. So he only gets a 2. But he goes to go for a second time, but Hiromu rolls. But Wado stuffs the roll and gets a pin for 2. Then applies Vendaval again. This is where I thought it was over. When he applied the Vendaval here, I was just like, oh, is this it? No. Into the match still comes. Pumping bomber by Hiromu. He hits time bomb 2 and gets the win. And I was like, holy shit. Hiromu's keeping the belt. I was very surprised.
I also thought that Wado was going to take this just after the kind of build that he has up until this point, winning pretty much everything he's been involved in. Not every like single match, but every tournament that he's been in this year. I don't have a ton to add. I mean, the massacring at the front, at the beginning of the match outside, where Hiromu was just running Wado endlessly into the barricades was that's just Hiromu. That's how he likes to soften up your back. The Recitamento by Wado just so picture perfect in this one. The back and forth was pretty even. I felt like it was hard for me to figure out who was going to win. Usually there's a pretty clear cookie cutter kind of story that NJPW likes to do. These guys were very even. Like, despite Hiromu having that kind of heavy engagement at the beginning there, he really, like, it was like Hiromu popped off something, and then Wado would, and then Hiromu would, and then Wado would. It was very even. It kind of left you guessing until the very end. I wasn't expecting that, but it was still a great match.
Yeah, it was a really good match overall. I think I'm a little. I really thought, especially after the performance Wado and Teton put on, I didn't think I'd be this burnt out on the match, because the match 4 I was really into. The following match I was more into than I thought it would be. So it was just really surprising to me. Yeah. And I watched this in a couple sittings too. Like I broke it as I was watching it. I would stop for like 20, 30 minutes and watch an episode of The Simpsons. So it wasn't like after a couple matches, just to break it up. So I wasn't getting tired throughout. You know what I mean? I was keep myself and break out up a little bit. But yeah. Move on. Never open weight 6-man tag team championships. It's the team of Kazuchika Okada. Kazuchika, whatever. It's Okada, Ishii, and Tanahashi, team legends, versus the Blackpool Combat Club's members Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Shota Umino. Umino getting right in the face of Okada at the start of this, just really back and forth. This match was actually supposed to be before the Junior Heavyweight Championship match, but due to Claudio travel issues, he only arrived just as the show was happening, so they gave him the second from the final spot. Claudio locking it up with Tanahashi, just kind of a dream come true for me, because I love Claudio Castagnoli and I just want to see him wrestle all the favorites, and getting him to watch him wrestle Tanahashi was tremendous. But yeah, I thought really good back and forth match. I thought the Bullet Club did a really good job of isolating was Okada in their corner for a good few minutes and really working him over. I thought they were doing a really good job working together. Claudio with that deadlift gut wrench to Okada, like just beautiful. But yeah, I thought really good match overall. Oh shit! I took a lot of notes. Holy crap! I took a lot of notes for that, man. Yeah, really, I just thought really good back and forth because I thought Uno's fire when he was in there with Okada was pretty tremendous. Yeah, Moxley hitting suicide dives to Ishii in this. Like, you don't really see Moxley hitting suicide dives in most matches. So again, hitting but yeah, Tanahashi sing blades Umino. And he gets hit with a twist and shout, or he hits a twist and shout on Claudio. Then Ishii hits his huge German to Moxley, just yeeting him across the ring. It was a triple team, like elevating DDT to Umino, with Okada hitting the DDT part, but Umino ends up kicking out at 2. End of it comes where Umino's laying shots to Okada, tries the Death Rider, but he ends up getting hit with landslide. Then Okada hits the Rainmaker and pins Umino. If this team was going to win, I knew Umino was going to take the pin.
Oh, 100%. 100%. It would be silly for them to bring in Claudio, wasn't he an ROH champion?
He is the current ROH champion.
So it would be really stupid to have him take the loss there. And then Moxley is just, he's so
Moxley.
The AEW Golden Boy. You know, it would make no sense for him to take the loss there. Umino's the new guy. He's the most, I would hesitate to say this, but the least experienced person in the business of all of these guys. So, yeah, it made sense that then Umino would take the pin there. Ishii was a freaking tank this freaking match. Like, you almost forget he was there, and then he'd march in and remind you he's there. There was one point, I don't remember what the move was, but like Moxley had it in, I believe, on Okada. I think it was just like the knee in the back, and he was pulling the head back over the knee. Ishii just walks in and just wallops like Moxley in the face, Kaido style, and I was like, oh, and then he just stood there waiting for him to get back up. What I found interesting about that is usually Moxley is the kind of hothead who would immediately whip back around, get back up. He'd be in Ishii's face. He did not do that. He crawled back to the corner and tagged out. Found that very...
I think he knows what how Ishii hits, and he's like, maybe I shouldn't take another one here. Let somebody else take it.
Yeah, I mean, he continued to F with him throughout the entire match and kept catching smoke, kept catching hands. Like, I was very, very surprised that Mox didn't retaliate on that one. Yeah, I don't have a ton to add to this because I actually just enjoyed watching this one.
Yeah,
really, really interesting to watch everyone kind of pair off and just ruin each other's day.
Again, I just wasn't one of the matches at the top of my list going into the show, but so I guess when you have lower expectations, shit can really pay off for you. I really did enjoy this, and I didn't think it was going to be a bad match in any sense, but it was. Sorry, I'm trying to fix something on my camera.
Airplane spin too. The Cesaro spin, or what is it now? Is it the
Claudio? It's a Claudio spin, yeah.
Whatever.
The Claudio tornado.
17 seconds?
He did, I think I counted it out around 25 or 26 rotations.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was, and just going. It was nuts. But after the match, Mox ends up getting on the mic. He says, you guys think you're the best in the world, but you're not the best wrestlers in the world because they, as in Mox and Claudio, train with the best with the best wrestler in the world, and they have a message for him, and it shows Bryan Danielson on the screen. He ends up challenging, like says he will beat Okada's. Come to the desert, I will beat your ass, like referencing to the rain, right? and he essentially challenging Okada to a match. Okada says he will share a ring with him, and he can make it rain anywhere. And he mentions he'll walk through a forbidden door. You'll see that the forbidden door will be opened, and then we got it. It's official. It's Bryan Danielson versus Kazuchika Okada. That's going to be a banger, man. Those are the only two the Kenny and Ospreay match and the Danielson and Okada match are the only two matches officially announced at this point. But this is also this is post Dominion. I haven't seen the Dynamite yet, so we'll see where this goes. But boy, howdy, this is going to be a barnburner, man. Like, that pay-per-view is going to be pretty goddamn sick just for the two matches they have on there now.
100%. It'll be interesting to see who else they bring over.
I can't wait. I'm excited. But we get to the main event. It's Sanada versus Yoda Tsuji. So Tsuji, after he speared the shit out of Sanada there to Taku, he went back to Mexico to keep wrestling. So that's where he's been this whole time, and he actually at one point actually competed for the CMLL championship, but he did lose that. He literally a few days ago he had a 2 out of 3 falls match, and then booted his way back over to Japan. So Tsuji calling everybody over and saying, "Kate, time to fist bump," and it was just like is this guy in charge now? Could I feel like it was like almost like I don't know, like.
I mean, Teton arguably had to do the same thing.
Yeah, but they all seem like they were ready for it, where Tsuji was like, let's go, get up here. Where the other guys seemed like when for the Teton one, they kind of seemed like they all got up there faster. They all kind of like, okay, let's get up there and do this. But like with him, it's just like, okay, let's do this. And even sure you got Takagi getting off commentary to come over and do it. Like he got up slowly. Moved his way over slowly. Like it was just, but again,
it's not a rushed thing, I think.
But and also, Naito is on his decline. Shingo Takagi is like 40, almost 40 now too. So maybe this is Naito setting up the man who will take over for him and be the new lead, like the guy that maybe will eventually lead this faction in Yoda Tsuji. It's very possible. Like,
it would make sense with the CMLL attachment.
Yeah, I have a weird feeling that Teton was the reason, like the one that like bring Tsuji in though, because again, them working in CMLL together for so long and the connections there. Maybe he was the one maybe Naito like got Teton to convince Yoda Tsuji to join, kind of thing.
I would say it would be Teton necessarily, because remember Okamura is over in Mexico. Okamura was the one who was mentoring Tsuji. Okamura was also the one who mentored Naito and Yujiro when they were over there. So it's possible that it could have been Teton, because he does tend to team with Teton every once in a while in the multi-man tag matches that they have at CMLL. But I'm going to more hazard that it was probably Okamura.
And I know there's something out there that Tsuji saying he wanted to, like, flat out saying, I want to join LIJ. Like, again, he might have been running with some backdoor talks before, but he flat out said, I want to join LIJ. There, it's kind of bold being like, usually everybody gets recruited, where he was just like, I want to join. So, like, it's a very different thing. And I gotta say this, Tsuji looks just way more badass than Sonata. Like, just in every sense of the place, man. Sonata going to that like hop where a guy like hops over to other guys, they duck under and go under, and Tsuji just spearing the shit out of Sonata and setting Sonata to the floor, and Tsuji ends up hitting a moonsault plancha to him on the floor. It looked really good. Sonata. I just thought these two, the back and forth is absolutely tremendous. Like, they seem, for the first time, they seem to have a lot of goddamn chemistry.
Yeah. This is the best Sonata match I've seen in a hot minute. Like, he stepped up in this. I mean, he did get his ass kicked for, like, a lot of it, but He stepped up in this. This was a great match.
We got the dingle dangle.
I know. I was so excited. I saw him setting it up. I'm like, no way, no way, no way. We're getting a dingle dangle. And he did it so good. So good. His nose wasn't hitting the ground or anything. It was so great.
Well, he's so goddamn tall.
He does have pretty long legs, too.
Yeah, but do you know, when I saw that, I'm like, Mel's going to be so goddamn happy with the dingle dangle.
Happy. So happy. I was actually doing my makeup, getting ready for this stream while watching this match, and I was in the bathroom screaming, scaring the hell out of my dog, going, yes, that's a dingle
Yeah. Suji and Suji getting, like, setting up for, like, the inverted gory special, or if you want to call it the vertebreaker homicides move, but then throws him out into the inverted gory special slam. But yeah, like I think, oh, you're gonna get a goddamn vertebreaker? That's fucking insane. Yeah, Suji ends up stops the springboard attack by Sonata and cracks him with a super kick. Sonata ended up blocking his suplex. They get into this like striking exchange, and like Sonata will chop Suji and he'll just go, and then Suji will chop Sonata, and Sonata just like bending over, going, ah! Like it was just like, showing the power advantage that Suji had here. Absolutely tremendous. Suji calling for the spear at one point, but misses, and Sonata gets the drop kick, applies the skull end, but then they start reversing each other's moves, and Suji, he hits a very reminiscent of a man named Rollins stomp here. And I didn't even know that. Moxley did it in the match before that, too. Yeah, so it's just like, that sounds pretty goddamn popular.
No.
Yeah, Sonata ends up hitting a drop, or he hits a drop kick off the spear attempt, hits a moonsault, hits a Shining Wizard, follows it up with the deadfall, picks up the win. But yeah, I thought these two had a really, really good main event. They really had Suji shining in his first match back.
100%. And something that Kevin kept mentioning on commentary is just the devious smile on Suji's face the entire time. And I was just sitting here thinking, as I was thinking about that comment, we potentially have another historic takeover show coming up where we could see some NJPW guys teaming with some Stardom wrestlers. You know who I just thought would be the perfect person to tag with Suji? Suzu Suzuki.
Oh, that would be sick.
Right?
Yeah.
Hi-yo. I mean, get Tam Nakano teaming with Sonata because, you know, the Taichi connection there.
Yeah.
Nakano and Sonata, the pretty ones, the cute ones.
The champions, yeah.
Taking on former contenders, Suzu Suzuki. She didn't challenge Tam Nakano, but she did challenge Julia for the red belt.
That could be pretty.
Gave her a run for her money.
That'd be pretty goddamn sweet. That match is on my best of the matches of the year list. So Sonata gets the mic after. It says, from here on out, you go get some results and work some time with LJ, and then you can challenge me again. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. He says the next time they're in Osaka will be at the G1, and Kevin Kelly said it'll be a 2-day stand in Osaka that when they're there with G1. He said this year's G1 he's going as champion, and he will win as champion, and I will choose my challenger for Wrestle Kingdom. And he stares at goddamn Taichi. I'm sorry, if he wins the G1 and chooses Taichi, as much as I personally enjoy it, it's not the best match. It's not the match, man. I love Taichi.
You guys have that's not the match.
No, but yeah. And then he signs it off. Says he really likes Osaka this time. Just 5 guys, and that is the end of the show.
Yes, such a good show. Such a good show. Such a great commentary crew.
Gino Gambino.
Very
God, I missed
technical
him.
difficulties, unlike the strong ones.
Legitimately, the only time I've seen a strong show like not have problems wasn't it the crossover with Impact Wrestling when they did that crossover show? There was no issues because again, his Impact was doing
Wasn't
the
that Battle
production,
Valley?
uh,
Oh no, the multiverse. The
the multiverse, and the Impact people were running the production.
Right,
Hey,
that's
New
true.
Japan, your friends make a partnership. Get those guys to run your productions. Come on.
It's like whatever production value and quality you have in Japan, find that in America, please.
Or get Impact to teach you because they have good production quality, obviously. So get Scott Demore to teach the guys. Come on, it's simple. But anyways, we are going to get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining in. We really appreciate you guys coming in. Please, if you can, like the video, subscribe to the page, hit that notification bell so you see every time we get new content coming out, and most of all, comment down below. We want to hear from you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And if you're wanting to watch NJPW, we will leave a link in the description box below. It is njpwworld.com. It is approximately 999 yen, or approximately $10 Canadian, but it's actually more like 7 now. But we do perfect 10 because we love Sean Spears, and he's Canadian. Just a reminder. Someone needs to remind Mr. Ospreay that not all the Canadians are dickheads.
Yeah, so that speech got to me a little. He said it's him versus Canada.
I mean, and when you can't argue the facts he gave you. When you're looking at Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega as the examples of what it is to be Canadian, and like Christian Cage, come on,
He
like
did say ELP too,
all the asshole Canadians are in AEW.
and he said ELP too.
He's like the Cardi B of the wrestling world, like ELP. He just looks loud. That being said, tell us about Backbreaker Media.
Yeah, you can check our buddy Mike out at Backbreaker Video. You might be watching us there right now, so check out all the great content on Backbreaker Video. If you aren't there right now, you can check out Mike's live stuff at twitch.tv/MikeTheRef. You can also find all the great gaming content he puts out at youtube.com/@backbreaker_gaming. Lots of great content there. Hopefully, I'm looking to start, but again, my life has been very much too busy to do any real gaming content other than playing 5 minutes of Final Fantasy here and there. You can find myself on Twitter, Mastodon, Hive at That Canada Guy, Instagram at That Canada Dude. You can also find me over on Our Local Establishment at youtube.com/@OurLocalEstablishment, also on the TikTok, where you can find me talking about Into the Spider-Verse, which our review of that just dropped on the OLE YouTube page this week, and coming up in a week or so on the weekend of what's the weekend dates? The 16th, 17th, 18th weekend. Until my schedule works out, we're going to be doing a review of Marvel Talk's going to be going DC, baby. We're going to be talking about the Flash movie on that weekend. So I wanted to do Spider-Verse, so he asked me. He said yes if we could do Flash, and I'm like, yes, I'm so down for some Flash. So we're going to be talking about that on that weekend, and then coming up every week for a few weeks at least, we're going to be talking some Secret Invasion too. So they'll be coming out. Those will be coming out purely on the YouTube page. So we'll be recording those at odd times of the night and morning. So please stay tuned. I'll leave for those. Well, where can they find you?
If you're wanting to follow Melball, you can follow her on Twitter at Collins Melball. You can follow her on Instagram, Facebook, Mastodon, and TikTok at Melball Collins. You can find us on our Facebook fan page, Andre and Melball's Wrestling Talk. You can also find a Melball on Our Local Establishment as well, with our original programming, Paramindful, all things spooky-ish, with myself, the gold standard Carl Carafel, and Alex the Werewolf. This week's episode, we're going to be talking about like dream spirits and dream demons and dreams. Stuff like that.
Dreams, dreams.
We're gonna spookify it up. You can also catch me on ladies wrestling showcase on Astro Pizarro's YouTube channel, where we're gonna be talking about some ladies that we admire, that we like, and who you should look out for in the year coming up. Here, we're also gonna be touching a little bit more on the Trish Stratus, Alundra Blaze kind of drippity drama drip. That's always happening on the twits. Hey, that rhymed. Oh, it's late.
Oh, it is.
That being said, my friend, do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
No, I just want to say thank you all so much for tuning in. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. We'd love to hear from you again. Hit that notification bell so you know when we're coming out.
And that being said, I am your Melba. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time. Adios.